को हर वर्ष इस महान पुरुष और महान सेनानी को याद करते हैं और उनके स्मारक पर पुष्पांजलि अर्पित करते हैं। जैसा कि आप सभी को विदित है, आज हम भारतीय सेना के महान योद्धा कल शेवांग रिंचन को उनकी 29वीं पुण्यतिथि पर श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करने के लिए एकत्रित हुए हैं। कार्यक्रम के अगले हिस्से में जाने से पूर्व मैं आपको उनके जीवन पर संक्षिप्त प्रकाश डालना चाहता हूँ। कल शेवांग रिंचन का जन्म 11 नवंबर 1931 को सियाचिन ग्लेशियर के ऊंचे पहाड़ों में स्थित सुमूर गांव में हुआ था। युद्ध कौशल में महारत और युद्ध में सदैव आगे रहने की साहसिक परंपरा इन्हें विरासत में मिली थी। सुमूर गांव में इनके घर का नाम ताकरे था, जिसका लद्दाखी भाषा में अर्थ होता है टाइगर अर्थात चीता। कर्नल रिंचन ने कम आयु में ही सेना में भर्ती होकर 1947-48 के युद्ध में अद्भुत साहस और वीरता का परिचय दिया और भारतीय सेना के सबसे कम उम्र के महावीर चक्र विजेता के रूप में 1962, 1965 और 1971 के युद्धों में उन्होंने असाधारण नेतृत्व, अदम्य साहस और रणनीतिक कौशल का प्रदर्शन किया। दौलत बेग ओल्डी, थोइस और तुर्तुक जैसे सामरिक क्षेत्रों की सुरक्षा और विकास में उनका योगदान आज भी भारतीय सेना के लिए प्रेरणा स्रोत है। 1971 के युद्ध में उनकी वीरता के लिए उन्हें दूसरी बार महावीर चक्र से सम्मानित किया गया। सियाचिन में स्थापित रिंचन पोस्ट उनके अमर योगदान का प्रतीक है। उन्होंने केवल युद्ध नहीं जीते, बल्कि भारत की उत्तरी सीमाओं की सुरक्षा की मजबूत नींव भी उन्होंने रखी। यह हमारे लिए बड़े सौभाग्य की बात है कि आज के इस विशेष अवसर पर कल शेवांग रिंचन महावीर चक्र एवं बार सेना मेडल के सम्मानीय परिवारजनों के साथ साथ अन्य गणमान्य अतिथि भी हमारे बीच उपस्थित हैं, जो कि कल शेवांग रिंचन महावीर चक्र एवं बार सेना मेडल के जीवन पर अपने अनुभव हम सभी के साथ साझा करेंगे। इस कार्यक्रम में सर्वप्रथम मंच पर आमंत्रित करता हूं लेफ्टिनेंट कर्नल विक्रम सिंह योगी, लद्दाख स्काउट।
यहाँ केवल एक औपचारिक समारोह में सम्मिलित होने के लिए एकत्रित नहीं हुए हैं, बल्कि उस अमर योद्धा को श्रद्धासुमन अर्पित करने के लिए उपस्थित हैं, जिसने अपने साहस, अदम्य इच्छा शक्ति और सर्वोच्च बलिदान से लद्दाख की धरती को सुरक्षित रखा तथा भारतीय सेना के इतिहास में अपना नाम स्वर्णिम अक्षरों से अंकित कर दिया। कुछ व्यक्तित्व समय के साथ स्मृतियों में धूमिल हो जाते हैं, किंतु कुछ ऐसे होते हैं जो स्वयं इतिहास बन जाते हैं। कर्नल चेवांग रिंचन ऐसे ही युग पुरुष थे। उनका जीवन केवल वीरता की कहानी ही नहीं, बल्कि राष्ट्रभक्ति, नेतृत्व, कर्तव्य परायणता और मातृभूमि के प्रति पूर्ण समर्पण और अनुपम कर्तव्य निष्ठा का एक जीता जागता उदाहरण है। आज उनकी पुण्यतिथि पर जब हम अपने उनके स्मारक पर श्रद्धा के पुष्प अर्पित कर रहे हैं, तब हम केवल उनके अद्वितीय सैन्य योगदान को ही नहीं बल्कि उन जीवन मूल्यों को भी नमन कर रहे हैं जिन्होंने उन्हें देश के महानतम वीरों की श्रेणी में स्थापित किया है। ये हमारे लिए अत्यंत गौरव और भावनात्मक क्षण है कि आज इस समारोह में हमारे साथ में सम्मिलित हैं उनके परिवारजन, जो कि उनके साथ साथ हर घड़ी में खड़े रहे हैं। मैं भारतीय सेना मुख्यालय 14 कोर और लद्दाख स्काउट रेजिमेंट की ओर से सभी का सुस्वागत एवं अभिनंदन करता हूं।
Now, Nubra Valley had no presence of the state forces, so they wanted to raise volunteers, particularly belonging to Nubra Valley. And Col Rinchen was, as mentioned earlier, a student of 8th standard in high school Lake, and he volunteered as the commandant of Nubra Guards. The Nubra Guards, I think it was a company strength or less than that, held the raiders from coming over to Lake Nubra itself. And the raiders were held up in Nemo for 1 month by the state forces before the Indian Army landed in Leh. Now, in 1962, when I was a student of high school Leh, Col Rinchen was a subedar in the state forces, and he had organized a mock ambush in Kigutak. I remember it. We high school students were invited to witness that. He was Subedar Rinchen of state forces. This was a mock drill, representing what the Indian forces had done in Ladakh Konka in 1948, and which repelled the raiders from Nemo village completely. Now, he was at the trigger of a light machine gun mounted on a tripod, and the Pakistani raiders are coming through the gorge of Kegudak. There were about 30-40 of them, and then they had fired at them with a light machine gun. We saw the bullets landing on the other side of the mountain, and all the Pakistani raiders were killed. And then when everyone was killed and the enemy was killed, he was saying, "Rum." And then the army soldier brings a rum bottle on a tray and offers to him. He drinks straight from the bottle, and we heard the noise of rum going from the bottle to his mouth. When he finished drinking, half the bottle was empty, and I thought he would fall down. He was so as good as before, very strong personality like that. That was in 1962, and after it encouraged a lot of my classmates to join the state forces. I think then it was JK militia. I was too young and small to join this. Otherwise, I was so motivated by the mock drill of Col Rinchen at Kyoto. Then, as mentioned earlier, in 1962, he got a Sena Medal by participating in the Indian Army's efforts against the Chinese. 1962, I think he had a Sena Medal. In 1965, the Indo-Pakistan War, he had earned a mention in dispatches. Then in 1970, he was a major in the Indian Army. In Nubra Valley, he had captured Turtuk, Takshi, and Thang villages of Jalunka area. He was awarded with Mahavir Chakra, I think for the first time, for the second time. And he became the Mahavir Chakra Bar I think, one of the 6 Mahavir Chakra bars from the Indian Army. And I was told now no one is alive. That was in 1971. He was an army major, and his bravery and his guts to harness, Turtuk, Takshi, and Thang villages, which were added to Ladakh. Now, he had expired, I think, in 1997. I was then a joint secretary in the Prime Minister's office in Delhi. When I heard that he was not very well, I came all the way from Delhi to meet him. He was almost terminally ill. We went to his house and he couldn't even talk to him. And after a few days, he expired from this. Now, I request the Ladakh Scouts and members of the family of the Tagre family from Ra to observe this day every year. I hope you are doing this. Now, when I was in London on a diplomatic assignment, I was Minister Economic in the Indian High Commission. The streets of London, the roads of London, and the city squares of London are all named after brave hearts, brave army soldiers, or great writers, and so on. And I asked someone from the High Commission, how is it? There's an adage saying in Britain, a community or a nation which does not give due recognition to its brave hearts and outliers would be doomed to be mediocre. So this is what the British, it's a small island, which ruled half of the world, then North America, Canada, and the USA, South Africa, India, the Indian subcontinent, Australia, all were under this small island, because they would respect their brave hearts and the outliers, those who are contributing to societal advancement. And I would request, this also to be kept in mind. And every year, I hope the same day is observed as a wreath-laying ceremony by the Ladakh Scouts. Thank you very much indeed.
Ijak po ngatang sangme lojung ikarsin yung steno na ika at diring lang tanpok sunjijik lefte kung pasananya Dr. Angolea nang kone nang tsang amane tuje chejun tene ngeje iwa chat na chada tene I jak kursiya zato yang I jak sije senanga tene Ladakh Scouts nang 14 koreng Roxos and Tidu Debang Tugje Chejin Ladakh Scouts la Col Chewang Rinchen scored la Laksai Kama Gypsal just the Mola that some Tesum adapted Jugos Mika Inanga Tugujik Nepal la Tene Col Chewang Rinchen Mo Minchan to Pinal. I have money Tuguzane Tezane Subida Rinchen Jatu Subida Ma Minchan to Pin Yang Aje Kampang Scott to Pin Parias Kundon La Tezane Maya Tuguzani Yanchen Kone Kakaru Tezan Maxal Kan Tesama Shadow Zaten. Then a testing name and young low manco Major Chewang Rinchen than I am with the Shazam. Sting ne Colonel Yurte and low Hachik Super Major Rekanemane Taxik Mason, Sida Mila Yok was. Then a sting you can add some using up. Then a Colonel Chewang Rinchen. Then a MEC Lampok Nisnante Mata Larse, then a Daxe, contemporary at a history at some mason, Spalbo, Mata Larva Junteno, then a Jam Sharma kept. Young YouTube children at a corner no, Nangil Sabe, Tonja, persistent. Here the Ma, the Jacmata some multi Pinica Nangchi, as Paul is some Shespo. استغرب family pe adına ma fakar esperano Deus que passou nie com não vão somala ma tashi dalek jin yang tukje chejin I japo jun university za chesepia nie yang spera manko miju Colonel Sahib Skola nie personal ngara kone ko interaction chazane chi thong juna ko mane mi khatang jik tang pojik jukse to gala ma tang ko mane ine chi tong ni man khura zawe mur gala maja one te jane zalik chendam reangso ma Colonel Sahib mane te izuna mane shkada mi mane mane stigma chap yang mata jal jane mane no sam soste zakta sa te o demba ko ne tene character nama te o mata put mane chi chen mata mi chenmo tumste yang chungula tene chung sorse te ko namani mero te shkot pasona tene Colonel Skundune kazuka tene magenanga chakla zate skola ngete un lapsi jogos mi kyak tsang ika ka tsang tsona tene la skole Lieutenant Colonel Sahib ma demo system hola zats ne ladak nam pe sokdo shokne tene ko ne nangzang nang ladak skol nang tsangala tene kashi de julejin tene ijak puni jersia zats ma cheshe gezgar na po nga rewara ngata lujung ijak po ngata tsangmalokte ngata shchin yang ngata tene yulipia tene izam chakla zakkan bol tene demba mane ngata jet process mano ngata jikten luzluz supa tene kone tsambo luz process tene somuzlami
My late father, I take this opportunity to thank this August gathering for taking out your precious time to grace this solemn occasion for the wreath laying ceremony of my late father. Although he left us 29 years back, but his contributions and sacrifices will continue to inspire generations to come. So he stood to protect the motherland at the tender age of 17 when he was just a schoolboy. And then he went on to fight all the 4 wars that time during his lifetime between India and between India, China and India, Pakistan in 1948, 1962, 1965 and 1971. And every time he gave crushing blow to the enemy. And he recaptured 804 kilometers from the Pakistan occupied territory, including Turtuk, Tiakshi, Thang, and the surrounding villages. So he not only conquered all this area, but he also won the hearts of the people of Turtuk, Tiakshi, and Thang because they still remember him and honor him. In recognition of his courage and sacrifices, the government of India honored him with Bharatu Mahavir Chakra, Sena Medal, and mention in dispatches. And thus, as already been spoken, being one of the 6 Indian soldiers to have been, decorated. That time when he won the ABC for the second time, he was the only living one, because the other 3 other personnel was not there. They already, they were sacrificed during the war. My sincere thanks to the dignitaries for apprising everybody about Col Chewang Rinchen and his contributions, so that the coming generations would be inspired. My deepest gratitudes to the Indian Army for honoring and keeping the memories of my father alive. And the Army has renovated and maintained his ancestral home in Sumur and has converted it into a museum, and we are very grateful to them. And my deepest gratitudes to the Commandant and all ranks of Ladakh Scouts Regimental Center for taking pains to organize this event in a very grand success. So in the end, I thank all the print and all the media